right. And I think we just setting everything up now.
Yep, says we're live.
All right, perfect. So we are live, bro. Like I said, Eric, man, you're going to have the floor for the next, 20 minutes or so to, explain, what this surplus funds is. And to our listeners that are tuning in and trickling in on this live screen, welcome. This is the first installment of the MDM live masterclass series that we're going to start running because, as the guests get better and the guests get bigger with some very valuable skill sets that they bring to you guys on, the episodes and the podcast that we have, there come a lot of questions on TikTok, Eric. I don't know if I told you, we had a ton of different questions on how people can get involved on, in the surplus business, and had a lot of questions, just what it was. And so I really thought it would be a good idea to kickstart this whole series with you, because, we had a lot of questions, and who better to answer those questions than the man himself that put me onto it as well, right? So that episode was powerful. I'm gonna pass the mic off to you, Eric, to kind of tell, give yourself a little further introduction of, who you are, what surplus funds is, and then, like I said, the floor is yours to pretty much, give us some game. And of course, we're going to have some offers for the folks that are taking this serious.
Awesome. Well, thank you, man. Yeah, so for those of you who are watching, my name is Eric Richardson. I've been doing surplus funds since 2018. And in today's video, I'm going to give you guys a lot of opening information on this business. You guys are going to get the basics, and then you're going to see how you can go ahead and move forward today, because this business is not like any other business out there where, you need any type of certifications, licenses, degrees, prior experience, anything like that. You guys are going to be able to take the information that is given to you today and hopefully take action. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so surplus funds, we're going to first start off with, what are surplus funds? Okay, surplus funds are the remaining profit after a foreclosure. Okay, so we're basically helping people get the remaining profit. Okay, so the county, they're going to hold an auction in which the opening bid is going to be either the taxes that are owed or the final judgment on a mortgage foreclosure. So we all know that there's foreclosures. Okay, many investors will get properties at pennies on the dollar. Okay, we all hear about, wholesaling or buying properties at a tax deed or a tax lien or even a mortgage foreclosure auction, but we don't really hear about what happens after the foreclosure. Okay, so there's going to be money that is left over in which you can actually help people recover. It's literally the best kept secret in real estate. A lot of people don't know about this, and the counties don't really promote it, because oftentimes if these funds are not claimed, the county gets to keep it. Okay, so these surplus funds, they're also referred to as excess proceeds, tax overbid, excess funds, tax deed overage. Okay, so not every county is going to refer to it as the same thing, but it's pretty much the same meaning. Okay, if you hear excess funds, that just means extra funds. If you hear surplus, a surplus means an abundance, extra, there's more, there's some left over, overage, over the amount. So this is all just different words for the same meaning. All right, so an example would be, somebody has their taxes on the property for $5,000. Okay, the county is going to host an auction, and the opening bid is going to be the 5,000, because legally they can only keep what was owed. Okay, so the county, they can't keep these surplus funds. All right, so they're going to open the auction with what was owed. Now, just because they didn't pay their taxes, let's say 1 year, doesn't mean that it's going to be foreclosed immediately. That previous owner is going to be sent notices a few times before the county actually holds the auction. And also they are going to publicize that the property will be getting sold. Okay, so let's say it sells for $55,000 at the foreclosure. There's going to be a surplus of $50,000. Okay, and that surplus amount is something that you guys can help people claim. Okay, we're going to get into it today, and you can get typically 15 to 30%. Most states don't have any cap on what you can charge as a finder, but some states do. Like Washington, for example, is 5%, or if you're doing Indiana and tax liens is 10%. But majority of states, you can get what you want. Typically, it's industry standard to get 15 to 30%. Okay, so now we know the basics of what surplus funds are. Let's understand the different types of foreclosures. Okay, so we have a tax deed sale. This is in which an individual didn't pay their taxes and the property will be foreclosed. Whoever has the highest bid, that deed will then be transferred over into the new owner's name. Okay, so there's no redemption period with a tax deed foreclosure. All right. Then we have a tax lien. Tax lien is different than tax deed. Tax lien states in which they have a foreclosure. The previous owner has a redemption period in which they can pay their taxes plus interest to get their property back. Okay. So at a tax lien sale, whoever has the highest bid, they just have interest in that property. So they don't fully get the ownership transferred over to them until that redemption period is up. Okay, so that's the difference between a tax deed and a tax lien. Tax lien, you have a redemption period. All right, then we have a sheriff sale. Okay, the sheriff sale is going to be a auction that is hosted by the sheriff. Okay, they're just the ones that are hosting it, but it can be either tax deed, tax lien, or mortgage foreclosure. So there might be times where you see a sheriff sale and you don't know exactly what it is. You just have to look and see. Typically, they will describe if it is a tax lien, tax deed, or mortgage foreclosure. And then we have the mortgage foreclosure, and that's when they're not paying the bank and they're going to come up with a final judgment amount. That final judgment amount is going to be their interest, their payment that they're missed, any type of attorney fees, and that's going to be the opening bid typically. All right. So now we understand what surplus funds are. We understand the different types of foreclosures. Let's get into who can actually claim these funds. Okay. So the previous owner, if they're still alive, that's usually the simplest deal, where you see who the previous owner is, you give them a call, explain the business, explain your service, you help them. Very easy, very simple. Then we have heirs. Sometimes the previous owner is not still alive. They might be deceased, okay? And these are deals that you can actually get that high percentage, okay? You can get that 25, 30%, sometimes even more, because you're helping the family members, and majority of the time, they don't even know about the property. So they're just like, yeah, this is extra money, do what you have to do. Sometimes when you're helping the previous owner, they might nudge back on, charging 30%. So you do have to negotiate. All right. So when you're helping heirs, there's going to be some documents that you need to file. Typically, you're going to open a probate on the estate, or you're going to have a summary of administration. Some counties will allow an affidavit of heirship. Okay. An affidavit of heirship is just a legal document stating that this person has passed away, and these are the individuals who precede them in death. Okay. We have lien holders. You can also help lien holders file a claim for surplus funds. Now, they're going to be subject to a time restraint. Like in Florida, for example, lien holders only have 120 days in which they can file a claim, or their rights are forever barred, meaning that they don't have any rights. Only the previous owner can file a claim. Now, you might ask, well, what's a lien holder? Okay, so let's say somebody is getting renovations on their property. The contractor might place a lien just in case they don't pay them back. And now they have rights towards any type of funds in regards to that property. Another lien can be a governmental lien, something from the county. If they're not cutting their grass, they're not paying their water and sewage bill, things like that, the county can actually have a lien. All right. Then we have government entities. The IRS can be entitled to surplus funds. We have counties. There's other governmental entities as well. And then we have companies, because companies own properties. So if a company owns a property and they don't pay their taxes or their mortgage, that property is going to be foreclosed. And then that company is now going to be entitled to surplus funds. And you can help them the exact same way. It's not really different. The only difference is when you're signing them up, whoever is signing, authorizing, you just have to have proof that they're actually related to that company. Okay, so typically you would attach like an articles of organization or something from the state directory showing that they're actually attached to that company. Okay, so this is probably the number one question that you guys will ask. Well, why don't they know about this? Okay, I hear you, Eric. You're telling me that there's money after the foreclosure. Why don't they know about this? why haven't I ever heard about this? And the truth is, they don't want you to know about this, okay? The county does try to attempt to inform the previous owner, but what they do is they oftentimes send to the last address of record, which is going to be the property that was foreclosed. So can you see how they don't receive that notification? The county's not going to go the extra mile to do skip tracing, to do phone calls, to send mailers to additional addresses that they might be at. Okay, but that's what we're going to step into. All right, so when you start your surplus funds business, that's what you do. What the county doesn't do, that's what you're going to do. You're going to do research. You're going to give them a call. You're going to become essentially a private investigator to track that person down and let them know that you can help them file the claim. Also, the county has no motive for informing the previous owner because in some cases, they can actually keep the funds for their county budget. All right. So it's kind of messed up, but you know, they say that they do their job. You know, they send a letter in the mail, they're getting back return mail. That's it. They wait for time to go by and then boom, now the county can actually use it towards their budget. Okay. So like I said, it's our duty to do the research, to locate the individual or company or whoever you want to help and get it done. Okay. Because now you know about it. All right. So let's get into how we can find the list, because now we understand what surplus funds are. We understand the different types of foreclosures. We now see an issue that the county is not doing a great job, and we see a solution. Okay, we can step in and we can assist people. All right, and it's a great business, guys. You're helping people get funds back. And the beauty is we don't charge them anything up front. All right, so this business is literally has very few startup costs. I will get into that, but essentially you are doing a lot of time. You're not putting up a lot of funds, you're putting up time, and it's not even a lot of time. All right, each case I'm typically spending between 3 to 5 hours of work, and the commissions that you're going to get are going to be thousands of dollars. Okay, the only time that is actually going to be a long period is going to be the waiting time, because these are legal claims. So when you file the claim, you've done your job. Now you just wait for the county. All right, so that's just waiting. I don't even really consider that work, because you can still go on, do what you do. And this is a great additional stream of income. You guys can do this to supplement whatever you want. All right, so when it comes to finding these lists, it's all online for free. Okay, so we can search keywords. All right, so if you search surplus funds, excess proceeds, excess funds, overbid on Google, you will see probably over 50 counties on Google. You can go through each page. You'll probably see about 6 Google pages. All right. To be efficient with your search, you take a county name and then you put any one of those keywords. Like, for example, Nye County in Nevada, you would put Nye County excess proceeds list. All right. I'm going to go through and show you guys right now a few counties so you guys can see that this information is fully transparent online. This is not a business that I've, magically came up with. The thing about this business is it's been around before I was even born, and it will still be around even when I pass away. So if you're looking for a business that you know is going to stick around, this is a great business, because properties are always going to be foreclosed. And unfortunately, we're moving towards a recession. We had COVID. We have some unfortunate times. There's going to be a surplus of surplus funds. Okay, so you guys that are learning about this now, this is the best time. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a few states just to show you that this happens everywhere. This right here is DeKalb County in Georgia, and here they have a section in regards to excess funds. Okay, so here they have a list, and they also have a claim form. All right, when we click on this list, you guys can see this is a pretty big list right here. All right, so they have the amount that's over here on the left. You see some as low as $360. And then we even have some large 6-figure claims for $124,000. All right. So they're going to give you the owner. They're going to give you the sale date. They're going to give you the amount, the parcel ID, which is that property ID. So you can go and do some further research. And this is a very transparent list. All right. When you guys are starting off in this business, you want to choose a county that is very transparent. Okay, because not every county is going to be nice enough to give you all the information that you need to get started. All right, but you guys can see here, excess funds, DeKalb County. This is directly from the county. All right. You help these individuals out, even on a claim that's 9,000, you're getting 30% of that. That's a pretty nice deal right there. And you're helping these individuals out. Like I said, you can help heirs. Right here, it says the estate. That means that person has passed away. You can help companies. This is a company right here, Cavalier. Let's see. We also have regular individuals, more companies. This is an LLC right here. This is a company right here, incorporated. Another company. All right. So you guys can assist these individuals on filing these claims. All right. And then we have their claim form right here, their claim form, very simple claim form. Nothing too crazy, one pager, does have to be notarized. Okay. So we are doing a legitimate business. We work directly with the county. Okay. Now there's going to be additional paperwork that is needed on our end because we are third parties, but we will get into that later. All right. This is Nye County in Nevada. Once again, they have an entire section in regards to excess proceeds. They have the instructions. They also have the list. All right. So if we click on this list, we can see here that this list is not as transparent as the other list, but it gives us dollar amounts. It gives us an address, and it gives you the parcel number, which can allow us to do further research. So after you guys get more in tune on this business, how to operate it fully, you'll be able to read these lists with ease. But once again, you guys can see that, you know, there's some good claims to go after, 67,000, 28,000, and even some small ones as well. Also, another gem for you guys, if you ever come across a case where, you know, maybe this $1,800 case, instead of charging them 30% or anything like that, you can call these individuals, get the paperwork prepared for them, and charge them a service fee for that. All right, $500. You have all the paperwork done. Paperwork can be done in less than 15 minutes. All right, you can make $500 for 15 minutes worth of work. All right. Another good thing about this county is transparency. I keep saying that to you guys. Here it says agent form and assignment of rights. They're literally telling you guys, if you are a surplus funds and asset recovery agent, we got you covered. Okay. So they have the form here for authorization for an agent to collect the excess proceeds. This is letting you guys know this is a legitimate business. All right. So this is a form right here that you would use in this county to go ahead and be an agent to receive their surplus funds. They also have the assignment of right. Okay. So there might be some scenarios where you're working in the county and they require that you get the rights to have the check fully made payable in your company's name. Not all counties require this, but this is something that you will see. All right. This right here is Collier County, Florida. We just went over Georgia. We went over Nevada. Now we're doing Florida just to show you guys that this happens everywhere. Now we've had different names for them. All right. We just saw excess proceeds. Now it says tax deed surplus. Okay. So here they have the claim form, they have instructions on filing, and they actually have the list. Okay. So this list is a pretty good list as well. We have some decent surpluses, 33,000, 20,000, 23,000. You guys can see that if you're helping these individuals with 20 to 30,000 and you're charging 30%, you're going to get a nice chunk of change. All right. So they give you the claim form, very simple claim form, nothing too crazy. You also have your instructions. So they give you the instructions on filing the claim. They're telling you exactly what you need, guys. So this is something that, you know, you're not going to be under a lot of stress. You just have to be good at reading and understanding. All right. So now we have Florida. We have that information. Here's California. All right. Because I wanted to show you guys that this can happen in pretty much all the states. Okay. You guys can operate this everywhere. You do not have to live in a specific state or county to do this business. Okay. So this is Fresno County. They have here the excess proceeds list. We see some large ones, 154, 147, 146. They give you the parcel number. That parcel number, you guys will be able to do further research, see who the previous owner was, see what the address is. They also give you the claim form, very simple claim form, and they give you the instructions. And they let you know if you are a party who is assisting them, they're telling you what to do. Okay. So these counties are very transparent. These are counties that you guys can get started in today. We have Fresno County, we have Collier County, we have Nye County, we have DeKalb County, and you guys can do research on Google and find this. All right. Once you guys start getting really good at this business, you're going to start scaling using certain tools. Tool that I use is Excess Elite. Excess Elite is a website that has a database for all counties across the nation. All right. And they're going to give you links directly to what you need. Okay. So let's say we're doing Arizona. We're working on this county right here. They're going to give you the specific links that you need to do your research, to see surplus funds, to see information. And most importantly, they have fully skip trace leads as well. Okay. So they'll have the information already done for you. This is a site that I use to make my business very simple. Okay. So Excess Elite is a site that you guys can use to help you. They have all counties in Florida, fully skip trace leads. They give you the information. They also give you the claim form. They just make this business so easy to operate when you use this website. Okay. Once again, this has all the counties, all the states. They even give you forms as well to go after. So if you need an agreement form, you need your response funds payable so that your company can receive the check, your limited power of attorney, your assignment of interest. They have all of that information accessible, ready for you. All right. Here's another county in a different state. This is in Pennsylvania, Montgomery. And here they give you instructions on how to file for the surplus funds. They're just saying that they need the notarized affidavit, copy of the proof of identification. And then they say, look, if you're a third party, we just need that agreement form, that legal contract between you and the claimant. All right. And here, very transparent list. They're telling you who's entitled these funds. They have the dollar amounts. Once again, we see some large claims, 91,000, 67,000. 130,000. This county actually has over 1.4 million that is unclaimed. I mean, I see one right here, 230,000. So this is something, guys, that you guys can get into that doesn't really have a lot of competition. And even if there is competition that you're working on, the way that you can stand out is being professional, knowledgeable, and an expert. All right. Because anybody can look at this list, give somebody a call, but who can actually persuade somebody to allow them on filing the claim? Okay. Because some people might say, oh, well, can't they do it themselves? Yeah, they might be able to do it themselves, but do they know what to do? No. Do they know the proper paperwork? No. So that's how you step in as an expert. You know everything that needs to be done to have a successful claim. All right. So this is a very simple business. I wouldn't say it's easy because you do have to put forth the effort. You do have to work hard. You do have to be good at communicating, being professional on the phone, but it is simple in regards of the system. All right. So we're going to be looking for leads. All of this is on the county's database for free. We're going to be doing research. You do have to skip trace these individuals, companies, states. That is going to be where you'll probably reach a snag. A lot of people give up when they do this business and they see that, okay, we're doing skip tracing and I can't find a correct phone number. But those who succeed, they go that extra mile where they're looking on social media accounts. You'll be surprised how many deals you'll close on Facebook. You'll find somebody on Facebook, but you can't find a good phone number for them. Also, doing the extra mile research, looking for friends, family members, former employees, things like that, doing whatever you can to find them. Because the thing is, you see that money is there. It's like you're hunting for treasure. You see the gold is there. Now we just need to find who we can link to that money so we can help them file the claim. All right. After we do that, paperwork is pretty simple. Okay. You don't have to be an attorney to do this business, but some counties, it is going to be required to use an attorney. All right. And that's not difficult as well. So don't freak out if you ever need an attorney. And then after that, we submit the claim and we get paid from the county. So this is pretty much a brief introduction to this business. But now you guys have information on what surplus funds are. All right. You see that this information is online. You see the claim forms. Now you guys can understand that this is something that you can get into now. Now, if you guys want to learn how to do this and kind of speed up that learning curve, there is a course that I offer that's going to have over 50 chapters that's going to tell you step by step exactly what to do, give you all the documents. You're going to have my mentorship. You even have partnership opportunities, and it's going to allow you to really see all of the information in regards to this business, because now you guys got an introduction to it, but there's going to be other things that you need to know in this business in order to be successful.
Yeah, Eric, man, I appreciate the information and just kind of doubling back and spitting the gas that you just did about the business. I know we had the conversation, a couple weeks back on the podcast, and that conversation really did some numbers. And like I said to you, man, we had a lot of people that are really interested, and we have a couple questions in the chat. But I really kind of wanted to take a moment to say thank you for taking some time out of your Sunday, running it back. And then also, before I get to these questions, is this possible to be able to do from anywhere, no matter if you're doing it at home or if you're traveling? Like, what are the tools that will be needed to get started right away in the business?
You can do this anywhere. So I actually started this in 2018 while I was playing basketball in Europe. Okay. And I just got back from Colombia. I was there for 2 weeks. You can do this anywhere in the world. What you need is a computer, internet, and the ability to make some calls. That's all you need. Now, there's going to be times where you might need to send a claimant something in the mail. So if you are traveling on vacation in another country, you can have somebody else go to the local FedEx office to send something in the mail. But there might be some times where you have to print something. But typically, if you're using a notary, you can email them the documents. They'll print it out and bring it to your claimant. So this can be done anywhere in the world, anywhere.
Okay, so pretty much no excuse why people have to feel like they have to be tied down, to the tech. Okay, so I got two questions from two different people that I'm looking at here, and I'm gonna ask this as a two-part question because they are very similar, and it's regarding the attorneys. So that first part is, what exactly in those states where it's required to work with an attorney, what does the attorney do? And then the second part to that question is, would you suggest using a power of attorney for these claims?
Okay, yeah. So there's a difference between power of attorney and attorney in fact. Okay, so power of attorney is just somebody who has authorization to be able to act on their behalf. Attorney in fact is an actual attorney that is licensed to practice law. So for Georgia, you guys are going to run into some situations like if you look up Gwinnett County, it's going to say, we don't accept claims from third parties. They're just saying that, look, if you're a third party, you cannot submit paperwork. So what you do is you get an attorney that can submit the paperwork for you. So that attorney is going to submit the motion to release the excess funds. That attorney is also going to receive the funds. Okay, so in their trust account, they're going to have the funds, and then they'll disperse your percentage to you, the percentage to the previous owner, and then an attorney will keep their fees. Now, typically when you use an attorney, you're looking for an attorney that can operate based on contingency. And contingency means that upon a successful claim, then they'll get paid. So you don't pay them up front. There might be scenarios where you just need to because you need an attorney fast, but you want to get an attorney that operates on contingency. Also, an attorney might open a probate for you. All right. If you're working on a deceased claim and you need to open a probate to establish an estate representative, an attorney is going to do that for you.
And it would you say is very clear on identifying which counties require attorneys and which don't?
Oh, they'll let you know. They'll broadcast it everywhere. If it's, they'll say, we do not work with third parties. Boom. Now you know you need an attorney. Florida, California, you don't need an attorney for those. Pennsylvania, you don't need an attorney. But there's some unique scenarios in which you might need to bring on an attorney. All right. It might be somebody who you're talking to who may not be comfortable with you receiving the check. You say, look, I'm going to have my attorney receive the funds, and then they'll disperse it. And then boom, they'll want to work with you. Also, maybe some larger claims. You might be working on a large 6-figure claim. If you use an attorney, they're going to typically pay that out faster because an attorney's word is going to hold a little bit more weight than a third party saying, hey, you know, can you guys release the funds now? It's been a while in the processing time. Let's go ahead and get this claim filed.
Mm-hmm. That's good information. Well, I mean, seeing that there are no more questions on the live chat, I'm sure people might jump in later and have some questions at a later time that I'll just kind of check in and you know, kind of occupy. But Eric, before I let you go, my last question is because one of the latest videos that I put up on TikTok, a clip of you sharing a testimony from one of your students in California that had, I believe, just got out of jail, you know, really needed some help. They, you know, got at it, didn't have a website, didn't really have a lot of the credibility pieces that people fear before jumping in and getting on these calls. What would you say the timeline was like for them to receive funds, and how much work did they put in to, you know, to get those funds and to, you know, see that success from that first closed deal?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And it's a question that a lot of people ask. So these are legal claims, and each county has a different legal process. So there's no cookie cutter answer. I can't tell you guys, oh, 3 weeks and you'll get paid. Some counties you'll get paid pretty fast. Like if you're working in Missouri, you're going to get your check between 4 to 6 weeks. If you're working California, they only review claims a year after the actual date of the sale. If you're working Florida, and you're working on a brand new case, the county has to wait 120 days before they even take a look at the claim. So if you work on an older claim, like say something from like a year ago or 2 years ago in Florida, you can get paid out pretty fast. The fastest I've ever gotten paid out was 2 weeks, but that's because the foreclosure happened 2 years ago. Everything was clear cut, submitted the paperwork, and the county released the funds. So just be prepared to wait, but know that the hours that you put into this is not going to be a lot. Like I said, 3 to 5 hours on each claim is all you need, because you're going to be doing your research. You're going to be calling. After you get somebody that's ready to go, you type up the paperwork, you set up the notary, you submit the claim, and that's pretty much it.
Right. And all the kind of, you know, knickknacks in between time, you actually do a really good job, Eric, of, you know, breaking that down specifically in the Money Making Juggernaut course. I mean, just I was in there probably for, you know, just a week straight, and was just ready to make action like that, like the next day. But I was like, okay, let me get some more information. Let me go to the scripts. Let me, you know, get these templates. So you really did a good job of kind of breaking that course down to where a lot of these questions that are coming in are now the questions of people that are, you know, interested, want to know more. And at this point, it's about, you know, pretty much taking action. So, Eric, I appreciate your time. I'm looking at, you know, I don't see any other questions. We got some, you know, a lot of appreciation from the people that are tuning in. Again, thanks for your time, Eric. I'm going to drop the link so that people can have access to, you know, that offer, especially, you know, being that it's a great offer, you know, that our community can have access to. And so people can like look into that, see if that's something that they want to go into.
Yeah, guys, like this business, after you guys learn it, I want you guys to do your research. There's other people out there who are teaching the same business and literally are charging thousands. Okay. So go check my site out. You can see I have a lot of student results. Just did a student success story with Susie. She got 8,800 on her first deal. So, you know, this is something that's real. It doesn't just work for me. It works for my students, but also you're going to learn at the lowest rate. So make sure you guys use that link that will be shared so you guys can get in at the best rate.
Boom. And guys, I just shared it in the comments. So whenever you get a chance, you can go ahead and hit the chat and just check it out. Again, like Eric said, do your research, make sure that this is something that you want to be, you know, consistent and committed to. You know, don't let it be just another thing that you say you're interested in and then just kind of let it fall by the wayside. So Eric, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to leave us and, you know, the listeners with before you go?
No, just really understand that this business should be 50-50. 50% of you actually looking to help somebody out, and then 50% you wanting to make some money. Don't get into it like just being money hungry, because this business is all about helping others. But of course, we want to get compensated for our time.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to chase, but you want to attract. And anytime you do something with the mindset of just doing it for a dollar, it is very short-lived. And like you said, this business isn't going anywhere. There's no reason to approach it like just a cash grab and, you know, going about it all different types of money hungry ways. go into it with the actual, you know, heart to want to help people, you know, and then you start to reap the benefits because that's the approach that you're taking, like you said. So Eric, again, appreciate your time. I appreciate all of our listeners who tuned in to get this information. You know, we really want to make this series, this masterclass series, about bringing to you different vehicles that can allow you to transition into spaces to where you can be more passionate and more purpose driven and walking in that life that you truly deserve. You know, if you want to travel more, if you want to spend more time with family and friends, this is definitely a vehicle that opens that up for you guys. So Eric, again, appreciate your time, brother. This is going to be available on, you know, YouTube. And so if you want to send it to your community as well, you can go ahead. It saves you a lot of time as well, but you enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bro?